Thanks for coming by to learn how to play Adam Young's March to the Sea. I made a fingerpick style that follows the bass line as well as the melody. And so I'll splice up the tabs and put them just here as we play through so you don't have to alt-tab through anything. If you want to listen to the whole thing, just check it out. With that, we'll get into it. So, the tab itself, I first went through and wrote all the chords, the chord progression. We'll talk about two sections. So we have two sections. The first section has 4 parts, and the second section has 3 parts, and we'll break those down. But essentially, the chord progression of the first section, something a little light and fun. So then I went through and looked at the bass. And then I figured out the melody and sort of threw it all together. So these are the tabs for that. So in the tab, you'll notice there's bolded notes. That's the bass line that I just played. We're going to go through section 1. So section 1, part 1, sounds like this, a little quicker. Then we'll go slower. So a little slower. You'll notice I'm going 3, 5, 5. I'm usually bar chording, so this time on C. And then I'll swap to the F with the bar chord on 1. So a little slower. That's part 1. Notice a lot of pinky work trying to hit a few of these notes down here as I skip through it. Part 2 starts on C as well. So it's a pretty similar start, C, C, F, and then G this time. The F doesn't go down here. I needed to access some of the melody down in this range, so instead I'm holding an F like this. So 3, 5, 3 because I'm barring it, and then 5. Kind of sounds like. Nice and light. So from the C, I just drop down and then move my pinky down to hit that F. So. And then I go to the G, where I'm just moving my whole hand up like this. And then I try to hit the 5 with my pinky and pull off. But at least then my bass is already ready. So that's going to sound like this pretty quick. A little slower. So again, the trick is just keeping that 3, 5 and then using your pinky to hit those extra notes. But it's really just on to part 3. So we ended part 2 here with a bar chord on the 3 and then a 5 as the bass note. If you just slide up 2, then you're already at A minor. In this case, we're going A minor, F, C. So it'll be A minor, F, C. So the melody is so playing it a little quicker. We'll do it slower. So you really want to line up the pairing of the bass notes with the melody. Some melody notes exist in between the bass notes, and that's a good way to count it. We'll go to part 4, which does C, F, G, C. You'll have to stretch out to hit this with your pinky. It was a little too hard to play like this and try to hit that note with my index finger. I found it a little easier with my pinky stretching out. So this one sounds, C like that, F the same way we've been playing it. And then bar G. So that sounds like this. Or a little slower. That's the first section into 4 parts. You'll want to repeat that, playing the first, second, and third part exactly the same, no change. That fourth part gets altered. So now instead of we're adding in a few flourish notes, namely the So the way to do that's similar, same C and then F just like this. But right after you hit that 5, when you're holding F, you want to bar down all of G. And I use my pinky finger. So I bar on the 3, use my pinky finger to pull that off, and then I quickly land my index to play that 5 for the bass note. But if you're fast, by all means, swap to that, where your pinkies are, or your indexes, or your ring finger's already down to pull off. So it sounds like this, a little faster. Or slower. Then you go through and repeat part 3 and the altered 4 again, and then play altered 4 again. So you can just listen to the song to figure out how it breaks down. That's everything for section 1. And then we go to section 2. So there's 3 parts. The first part's kind of like an introduction to weave between section 1 and 2. Pretty straightforward. Just so again, I bar 3 because I'm just used to doing that for this song. And then it's same notes an octave higher. So and we're on part 2. So for this, you'll want to hold an F and just sort of flick through it. Don't play it as a chord. Give it that fanned sound. So you'll go F to an A minor, to a C, and then back to an A minor. So that's part 2. What I like to do for this F is go through it slowly and then just sort of tilt my hand up so I can access that 0. And then I put it back down to hit the 1, 2. I use this 0 to be able to swap chords. And then I can quickly get to that A minor and swipe it down. So that'll sound like. Then you hit the 1, 3. I like to slide with my pinky just because it's easier to, from the A minor, hit that 1 3, 3's on the pinky, and then I just sort of hit it down to slide for that 3 5, up, back down, to be able to hit that 3. And then my index and middle finger are ready to hit the bass notes of the C chord. So and then a little rundown. So that a little faster. A little slower. So that's part 2. Part 3 here. Similar starting. So same with the swipe. That's all the same. The only difference is this little runt in the middle. So instead of doing we now just have hold an A minor, 2, then 0, so 2 0 2, 2 0 pull off, and then I end on this C, just the higher notes, and you come in pretty hard with the rest of the C chord. So that pretty fast. Sorry, that pretty fast. A little slower. You'll go back and play the last part exactly the same. And then this is the third part again, slightly altered. So same starting. In this case, you just leave the 2 on. Just go to the C. So you're holding A minor, you're going 2 2 2 0 C. So it's kind of a rundown. So that again, a little faster. Or a little slower. That's the whole song. And you go back into the first section. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you learned something. If you want any more tabs to any of the songs that I play, please just comment in the videos. I'll quickly make something up and give another tutorial whirl. So have a good night.